What's up, guys? Emir Sultan bin Rashid Al Blade Master over here. I'm going to be showing you guys a really massive battle between the Emirate of Cordoba and Charlemagne. I'm leading the Emirate of Cordoba, the leader of the Ummayad Caliphate, against these southern Franks who just seem to always want a piece of the beautiful emirate, and it's going to be a massive battle that's going to decide the outcome of whether they actually make it into Cordoba and take over my lands, or if we can actually defend and manage to use our excellent cavalry and our armored archers to win the day. So my army is just huge. Can't really even see it unless I zoom out incredibly. The main features of this army, there are probably too many units to showcase to you guys before the battle starts, is that I've got a front line, a main line of very cheap archers over here. These are the cheap ones. They have 38 missile damage, so they're not bad, but they are poorly trained and they don't have anything in the way of armor. However, on the flanks, which I've purposely kept to more heavy and kept a strong flank against the Franks. Essentially, I've got the armored variety, and the armored archers are massive tanks. And you can see they're already shooting flaming shot onto the Frankish cavalry right from the start. And Duck, who's my opponent, has brought a lot of skirmishers over here to counter these forces. I've got one Berber spearman, which is a very cheap throwaway unit that's actually doing a great job chasing after some of these levy skirmishers. 5 levy skirmishers he's using in a massive push, along with 4 total levy spearmen. So a lot of cheap units who are in front of a lot of expensive Schola Knights. So he's brought a lot of super heavy, super expensive, strong cavalry. Now you can see my Berber spearmen have actually caught the levy skirmishers. They're not really able to retreat effectively enough. Now I'm pulling away the Berber spearmen. They are taking a lot of damage from the javelins, which is exactly what I want. I'm bringing in my Andalusian infantry here, and they're going to just chew through these levy spearmen on the charge. Don't have a great charge themselves, but they're going to do very well against really shitty spearmen like those. So here, his Skola Knights, they're trying to move around, but one of them actually charged into my Berber spearmen. I'm going to use my Andalusian cavalry to give chase to them. And my Andalusian cavalry, they will be of no match to these Skola Knights. Skola Knights are, of course, much better, I believe. 43, 32, 52, 32, 20, 55, 70. Huge charge bonus differential between these two. And in general, they are much more tanky unit. But I've got Berber Levy and the pride and joy of the Ummayyad Caliphate, the Ummayyad Guardsmen, who have a 30 bonus versus cavalry, and that's why I brought these guys on the flanks. I wanted to win the flank engagement, especially against the terrifying Frankish cavalry. These guys will help even the odds very, very quickly. And the fact that he had to pull away some of his levy skirmishers meant that I could bring in my Andalusian infantry and kill off some of his levy spearmen. But you can see the skirmishers just destroying the Andalusian infantry from the rear here. And he's bringing in a swordsman unit. Meanwhile, I'm pulling away the rest of my men. I've got two very pesky Berber Genites on the far side. I've got two more, but they're kept more close to my men. You can see he's bringing his levy spearmen here, and they're killing off my Andalusian cavalry. I believe that's what they're called. And my Berber levy, who are these very light but high charge spear infantry, are already wavering. Weren't able to fire a lot of their ammunition, but they have caused a fair amount of damage. Here, my Umayyad Guardsmen got a half-decent charge against the swordsmen of the Franks. And even if they don't win this battle, the one thing is for sure is that they're going to hold out for a really long time. I charged in my Andalusian infantry cavalry against some of the levy skirmishers, dispatching a lot of his really cheap units off of the charge. So you can see my Andalusian cavalry got 126 kills off of the charge, but hasn't gone anywhere close to getting a single XP chevron. But it's done a good job in just routing a whole lot of these units, and that makes it easier. That opens up some gaps for me to rear charge with my Andalusian warriors. Maybe kill off this swordsman and then help out my Ummayyad guardsmen here. I think Duck is making a mistake here in going after my armored archers. I'm simply going to pull them back, and I have Andalusian infantry who are going to come in to help support. Here, my general, my Ummayyad Guard cavalry is going to destroy the Skola Knights, which was already very low in health, but he is bringing two. He's just pouring in the knights here against my general. He senses that this is a huge moment in this battle, so he's going to try and turn the odds in his favor however he can. So my guard cavalry is losing a lot of men, but I've turned on brace, and my Andalusian cavalry behind these Kola knights getting a lot of kills and already wavering the second unit. He's bringing in a levy spearman, but I'm going to be bringing in an Andalusian infantry over here. Meanwhile, my Umayyad guardsmen doing a great job holding out two units of swordsmen. My Andalusian warriors here, great, heavy infantry. They are getting slaughtered by a rear charge from this Frankish cavalry. The other Frankish cavalry has charged through my Andalusian archers here, charging into another of these cheap archers here and getting a lot of kills. But I'm going to bring in my Umayyad guardsmen again, and they are going to just slaughter these Frankish cavalry while they're engaged with my archers. 30 bonus versus large, some of the fiercest spearmen, and probably the most expensive spearmen, and a terror against any sort of cavalry here. Now I'm going to bring in more Andalusian warriors, give chase to the Frankish cavalry, all the while my armored archers pouring in from a safe distance, flaming shot and destroying a lot of them. But they are going to rear charge my Andalusian warriors, and now it's going to be tough for them to pull away because I'm coming in with more support there. He's brought in his general. His general has come in, his paladin guardsmen. Excellent unit themselves. My general, meanwhile, has dispatched a lot of those Kola knights, and I'm going to use shield-walled Andalusian infantry to take on this swordsman here. So giving them a good bonus attack against infantry of 10. My Umayyad Guard cavalry is killing off the last of these Kola knights. Gotten a double XP chevron, killing off so many of those expensive cavalry here. Meanwhile, my Berber Genites being a massive pain, getting into the rear. And there's all sorts of pandemonium here. His Frankish cavalry managing to get a single XP chevron, 104 kills on them. But now they're basically destroyed. Managed to disrupt my main formation a whole lot though in the process. His general was getting chased after by Berber Genites, which put him in a weird, awkward position. But here, his Frankish cavalry killing off a lot of my archers and forced to pull away a lot of my skirmishers. And that means they won't have enough time to fire into units such as these. Now, Berber Genites are rear charging a swordsman here. Haven't gotten too many kills. Going to start racking up some kills and more importantly get some crucial morale penalties in the process. He's trying to charge in with the rest of his mainline. He's got a mainline of armored swordsmen and mounted archers, and that's why I'm going to stay in safe distance away from them. I'm going to put two of my Andalusian warriors and infantry in shield wall so that they increase their missile block chance. Rear charging with the Berber Genites here, killing off his Frankish cavalry. And one more, basically one flank is completely in my favor. Andalusian infantry here destroyed that swordsman in shield wall. Now moving in, the shield wall of death is going to charge into these, well, not charge, but walk patiently and slowly into these Frankish swordsmen. And that attack against infantry is really going to help out the Andalusian infantry. They're already very decent infantry against not so great swordsmen of the Franks, so they will do a good job against these guys. 159 kills on them. The swordsmen, both of these guys have done really well because they ganged up on one of my Umayyad guardsmen. The guardsmen, they're a very tricky unit to use because they're very expensive. You're going to put a lot of money into them. But they'll do a great job against cavalry. But it's sort of overkill to use these guys to use such expensive units against cavalry. Unless you're coming up against Skola Knights or something like that, they're really not worth it. Here, shield wall versus shield wall. Andalusians versus armored swordsmen. The Andalusian warriors and infantry are going to get chewed through by the heavy mass and increased depth of the Frankish units. They stand no chance. They're going to get pummeled. Look at how quickly the warriors and the infantry are losing to 3 units of Frankish infantry. But it's giving me crucial time to move back the rest of my forces. He's going in for a general mainline push because he knows that flank is lost. I'm pulling away my armored archers here, losing a few of them on the charge, while retreating. But here is going to be another decisive moment in this battle. My Andalusian cavalry sense a weakness here. His swordsmen haven't used shield wall yet, and against thinly lined Frankish swordsmen, my Andalusian cavalry just pummels straight through them. This one as well. It gets into a shield walled unit. They managed to pop in shield wall at the right time. But still, they're losing so many men. And this armored cavalry got 66 kills, basically destroyed an armored swordsman off the charge. Here, Berber spearmen going to do a great job just holding off these armored swordsmen while I pull back with my armored archers and Berber levy and Umayyad guardsmen. But more importantly, it's going to mean that I can rear charge with my Andalusian infantry against these armored swordsmen. All the while, more and more flaming shot pouring in, all the while my Berber Genetes charging into lonely archers who are separated too far away from their main line. And I'm closing in on the other flank, especially with my terrifyingly effective general. This Andalusian cavalry, armored cavalry, just destroyed so many units and is holding off so many units. His palace guard, which is an excellent spear unit, has gotten caught while trying to chase after some other units, some of my Andalusian archers. The increased skirmish power of my men is proving to be quite a nuisance for him, and he's taking the bait of chasing after my archers, and that's giving me gaps, and it's giving me opportunities to charge into units that have their mind and their eyes elsewhere. My Andalusian warriors here charging up against Palace Guard. The Palace Guard, I think, will win this. Andalusian infantry are a bit too low in number. But they're holding them up, and that's giving me time with my Berber Genetes. It's just a matter of holding up one unit and then charging in with other units onto crappier units and like that. He's got a lot of low tier units, and that's giving me plenty of opportunities with my quick Genetes to catch and kill them off. His general is dead, which is a huge blow for him. And here my Umayyad guardsmen hopefully going to deal another crucial blow against his. I believe these are armored swordsmen, not the mounted swordsmen. So they're not the strongest swordsmen for the Franks. He did put a lot of money and faith in his Schola Knights, and he used all of his Schola Knights in that one flank. So by not getting that flank, by not getting a decisive win in that flank, that was a huge problem for him. Umayyad guardsmen here, 95 kills, and by charging into already engaged armored swordsmen, their 35 charge bonus is really going to play a huge role. They've got great melee attack and pretty decent melee damage already, and it's going to give me time to move my armored archers behind the armored swordsmen and then fire heavy shot onto their rear. No one likes heavy arrows into their bum. Well, I don't know if the Franks rolled that way. The Andalusian infantry going to charge into armored infantry who are already engaged, are trying to rear charge my Umayyad guardsmen. I brought 3 of these guys, and it seems like all 3 of them have done a pretty decent job. But I had to use them very carefully. One of them I used in a flank engagement, and to the Umayyad guardsmen's credit, they are just excellent units at holding down like 2 or 3 of sword units. They won't do a lot of damage, but yeah, I gotta take had to take a picture of that. They aren't the strongest units in winning off a fight, but they will hold, and they will hold for a long time, and that was actually very crucial for me to win that flank engagement. Now Duck has only one palace guard left, and it's wavering, but it's not going to rout that easily. These are the guards of the palace of Charlemagne, and they will not give up without a fight. And the weird morale mechanics of Charlemagne will show, of Age of Charlemagne will show very soon. These guys are wavering now. I just want to take a couple of nice cinematic shots for the thumbnail. But yeah, pretty soon all of my Andalusian infantry and warriors are going to start wavering, which is really weird. I don't know why it happens, but this is not good. Yeah, they all start wavering, which is super weird. But I believe that's because my general routes. Yeah, my general routes, and you can see this Berber Genete starts routing, and it's going to be very soon that all of my archers start to waver and rout. They don't have much ammo left, the archers, but I have so many other Umayyad guardsmen and Andalusian infantry left that there's no way that one palace guard is actually going to going to win out in a fight against basically half and a Cordoban army. The Andalusian warriors have done really well, and the palace guard, to their credit, are just refusing to die. I mean, it's insane. I believe I've got an attack order with 1. Yep, it's going to be screenshot time, boys. Yeah, let's put this in slow-mo. The beautiful fields are about to be beautiful bloody fields. Woo! ropes, like like some very heavily armored bowling pins, royal bowling pins. Ooh, that was nice. I haven't seen proper. One thing about the animations in Attila and Rome 2 is that cavalry animations, once they charge in, they have really shitty stabbing animations and they don't really connect. But that was a really cool one. Yeah, this palace guard just refusing to die. I mean, please, you've lost the battle. There we go, Pyrrhic victory. And that was a really fun game, and I want to play more of these massive battles. It's Charlemagne in regular army settings is not my favorite game to play. It gets very vanilla, but stuff like this, especially playing with someone like Duck, who doesn't mind, doing the odd tactic here and there, seeing if it works, and play some genuinely fun battles. It's always fun to play with people like him in under large unit sizes like this. Always adds a certain level of epicness to battles, which makes it a lot more fun. You can see he brought a lot more men than me, about 400 something, no, 380 something men, more than me, 360. And is that 364? Yeah, something like 380. Anyways, so yeah, he brought a fair few more men than me and that's strange because he got a total of 8 cavalry. I brought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cavalry. Yeah, I brought a total of 10 cavalry units. And you can see that the Berber Genites were huge for me. All of them got a lot of kills. All of them were a huge nuisance, pushing his general into a very awkward position in the middle of the map, and that meant that I could fire some flaming shot in. That meant he was closer to my men, and I could bring in some support units very quickly. So the Berber Genites, I believe, played a very, very underappreciated role in this game. I do believe that I won this game because of the Berber Genites, but the biggest problem, the biggest reason why I won this game, or the biggest reason why Duck lost this game, was because he put all of his faith in this one flanking overpowering tactic. I'm not really sure what to call it. He brought 5 of his levy skirmishers in onto one flank, and he brought all of his cheap spearmen onto one flank, and then put them ahead of his 4 Schola Knights, I believe. Yeah, all of his 4 Schola Knights. That's strange. I guess he really, really wanted to kill my cavalry, but he could have done that with the Schola Knights themselves, and the Schola Knights with some Levy Spearmen would have been the perfect combination. I'm not really sure why he brought the Levy Skirmishers. And bringing all 5 of them, putting them all on one flank, meant that he had a lot more micro to do with these guys, especially once I brought that solitary, cheap Berber Spearmen to chase after them. He had to pull all of them away, and then some units got mixed up in the micro, some of them got caught, and it just gave me more time to move back my armored archers and fire at his cavalry from a safe distance. It gave me more time to charge in with my extremely strong spear units, my Ummayad guardsmen, onto his Schola Knights. And in any case, my Andalusian cavalry did a fairly decent job against these guys. And it also allowed me to bring some of my support units in my sword infantry against his cheap spearmen, and they just slaughtered them. For the most part, the Levy Skirmishers did get a decent number of kills. His mounted archers, really, massive waste of money. I'm not really sure why they didn't get any kills, but I believe since he was focusing on just winning over that one flank in the first place, he should have just followed that up with a push from the main line. And especially once he saw that I pulled back my main line, he should have really, really closed the gap, because I had the upper hand in that flank from a very early stage. I managed to get some very lucky charges with my Andalusian cavalry against like 4 or 5 of his units, as I showed in the battle earlier, dispatching a lot of his Levy skirmishers and his Levy spearmen in the process. And also my Umayyad Guard cavalry, my general, just killed off a lot of, like 3 or 4 of his Schola Knights. He did bring some spearmen, and to be honest, the spearmen, they're a bit too shit in general to support cavalry engagements of that nature, especially when compared to my stronger Andalusian infantry and guardsmen, who were just killing off a lot of his cavalry. And when they weren't killing off cavalry, they were holding off a lot of his support units. If he managed to bring some of his swordsmen into cavalry engagements, that would have, he could have very easily won that flank engagement. So that one Umayyad guardsman that held off 2 swordsmen for just a good like 4 or 5 minutes was a huge MVP, I think. It was this one that got 105 kills total. For the most part, bringing three Umayyad guardsmen in, you cannot afford to bring Umayyad guardsmen in in just like regular unit sizes. I think in like 20-man armies, but in large armies, I think they can play a pretty good role. The Andalusian infantry are the cheaper ones, and for the most part, they did pretty well. The Andalusian warriors were actually quite good. One of them got a double XP chevron. They were my mainline forces, and while some of them got charged at by enemy cavalry, I believe, for the most part, they did okay. The Frankish cavalry of Duck played a very, very good role in just disrupting my formation. Although I think he used them a bit too heavy-handedly and just charged into a lot of units, meaning that they didn't get too many kills at the end of the day. All in all, yeah, this was a very, very fun game. The armored swordsmen, if they were used more in conjunction with the Frankish cavalry, I think you could have done a lot better job with them. They didn't do all that well. But the chief thing about this was that if this was Rome 2, I believe that this maneuver from Duck would have paid huge dividends. He could have just pulled away his cavalry very quickly, and with my slower support units, I wouldn't have been able to catch them. And I just feel like Rome 2, this strategy was suited more to Rome 2. We see AK the Legend using this strategy a lot. But yeah, it didn't really work this time. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle, and let me know if you want to see more massive battles. Until next time, guys, peace.